Channel 4 News.
Taking aim. Hurricane Lily, now a powerful Category 4, churning toward Louisiana and Texas and getting stronger as she goes. Thousands are being evacuated tonight. Resolve. The White House and the House of Representatives reach a deal on Iraq. The president warns use of force may be unavoidable. Surrender. A top Enron executive and handcuffed and charged with fraud. New details of the case against him. And water fight. Thousands of salmon dying in one of America's mighty rivers. Who's to blame?
From NBC News, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Reporting tonight from Washington.
Good evening. On the Gulf Coast of Louisiana and Texas tonight, they're boarding up, packing up, and getting out. Hurricane Lily is coming, and she's a monster. The hurricane now has been upgraded to Category 4. That's just one notch below the most powerful level. And forecasters are predicting ferocious winds up to 140 miles an hour and a tidal surge of more than 9 feet. NBC's Robert Hager is on the storm watch for us tonight. Robert?
Hi, Tom. Well, we're in New Iberia, Louisiana. They say that the storm is coming right here. As you say, the winds are now predicted to be 140 miles an hour. They were already clocked at 140 late this afternoon by a Hurricane Hunter plane at the center of the storm. So if it stays that strong, that would make it the most powerful hurricane to hit the U.S. since the devastating Hurricane Andrew more than 10 years ago. Hundreds of thousands are fleeing inland tonight, bumper to bumper, evacuating the Louisiana and Texas coast, fearing the worst.
Well, we might not come back to anything.
Here in New Iberia, Louisiana, people like Billy Rowe and his family.
We're going to get out of Dodge.
At the National Hurricane Center, Director Max Mayfield.
This is an extremely powerful Category 4 hurricane that is capable of causing extensive damage and large loss of life if people don't heed the advice of their local officials.
A Category 4 hurricane like this can be 300 miles across, with tops as high as 60,000 feet. At the edges, what are called outer bands of periodic heavy rains or squalls. Deeper in, there can be deadly tornadoes, storms within the storm. But the strongest winds are normally near the center, what's called the wall of the eye, 140 miles an hour in this case. Beyond, the eye itself, deceptively calm. Deceptive because the backside of the storm can sometimes be as powerful as the front. At Cape Canaveral, today's shuttle launch postponed until further notice in case the storm should impact mission control in Houston.
We don't want to have a situation where the mission control has to shut down in the middle of a mission.
Thousands of offshore oil and gas workers evacuating rigs in the Gulf. Production shut down. In New Iberia, the world's supply of Tabasco sauce cut off at the source, the only factory that makes it, idled as workers are sent home. In Morgan City, the infirm and elderly evacuate a hospital. In Grand Isle, workers race to repair a big gap in a levee torn by last week's tropical storm Isidore. And in New Orleans, a warning from the mayor.
And travel is expected to be hazardous in and around New Orleans after midnight tonight.
Now, remember last week with Isidore, the big concern was rain. This time, wind is the big factor, and high water, too, because that wind could push up what they call a storm surge in front of the storm from 10 to 15 feet along the coast. Tom?
Thanks very much, NBC's Robert Hager tonight in Louisiana. In coastal Louisiana, even long-timers who don't usually worry about hurricanes, they're worried about this one. NBC's Jim Cummins tonight is with some of them.
Today in Holly Beach, Louisiana, along the Gulf Coast, Sheriff's Deputy David Hebert, going door to door, warns the residents to leave, head to higher ground.
We're just checking to make sure you're not staying or plan on staying or nothing like that.
No, I came to...
Hebert tells them this is a mandatory evacuation. Lily is putting lives at risk.
So we're just going around checking on everybody. We advise you to leave for your safety and that because this one, especially this one right here, is the strongest one I've seen in many years, and it's not nothing to play with, because once you're trapped, there's no way out of here.
And if they refuse?
We just try to keep their name and keep track of where they're staying at, and we try to get next of kin in case something would happen to them, so we can notify them.
Today, people around here were making comparisons between Hurricane Lily and Audrey, a monster storm that devastated this area in 1957, killing more than 500 people. Shrimp boat captain David Deere, a lifelong resident, believes Lily could be the big one he's always feared.
We've always kind of missed a bullet here. We really haven't had a bad one hit this area, Cameron, Hackberry area, since Hurricane Audrey. We've had a few that kind of scraped us, but I'm afraid we're going to feel this one.
Doing my fatherly duties.
Rick Cross drove 300 miles overnight from Dallas to pick up his daughter at McNeese State University and take her home, out of harm's way.
We've never been in this type of weather. Used to tornadoes, but not what y'all have down here.
This time, people who live here say they believe it when they are told Lily is dangerous.
They said the last one was going to come up through New Orleans, and it was way in the Yucatan Peninsula, and then it sure did come right through New Orleans. So they must be something to what they predicted, you know.
We'll be 10-6.
Deputy Sheriff Hebert says he found nobody who plans to wait for this storm down on the beach. Jim Cummins, NBC News, Cameron Parish, Louisiana.
Here in Washington, the storm over what to do about Iraq took another direction today in the president's favor. He struck a deal with the House, including the Democratic leadership, on a congressional resolution authorizing military action. NBC's Campbell Brown tonight is at the White House.
A show of bipartisanship with this message from the president.
Saddam must disarm. Period. If he persists in his defiance, the use of force may become unavoidable.
Today, the president won backing from House leaders for a resolution that ultimately gives him what he wants, authorization for a military attack. But House Democrats did get concessions. The resolution calls for the president to first exhaust diplomatic efforts through the United Nations, limits authority to act only against Iraq, not throughout the Mideast as the president wanted, requires he notify Congress before an attack if possible, and report to Congress every 60 days. The deal reached through an unlikely alliance with leading House Democrat Dick Gephardt.
This should not be about politics. We have to do what is right for the security of our nation.
Gephardt's appearance with the president today spotlighted deep divisions among Democrats. Leading Senate Democrat Tom Daschle, after meeting with the president this morning, issued a statement calling for more limits on Bush's authority, like emphasis on eliminating Iraq's weapons, assurance war with Iraq won't undermine efforts against al-Qaeda, and more detail on the administration's plans for a post-Saddam Iraq. The remaining opposition especially frustrating for the White House as it still tries to make headway at the United Nations. Tomorrow, UN weapons inspectors will report to the Security Council on their talks with Iraqis. Officials say the U.S. will insist inspectors not go to Iraq until the UN passes a tough new resolution threatening force if Iraq doesn't cooperate. But today, the Iraqis said there is no need for a new resolution.
The standing resolutions of the Security Council concerning the inspections are valid and they are enough.
White House officials believe quick action on a resolution by Congress will strengthen their hand with the UN, but concede a vote's not likely in the House or Senate until next week. Campbell Brown, NBC News, the White House.
And there's word tonight that Richard Reed, the so-called shoe bomber accused of trying to blow up an American Airlines jet, has told a federal judge he is willing to plead guilty to all 8 criminal charges against him. But he wants the judge to strike all references in the indictment that say he got his training from al-Qaeda. Prosecutors say, forget it. So as of now, there is no deal. In the Philippines today, one American soldier was killed and another was seriously wounded, apparently in what was a suicide attack. A bomb packed with nails and hidden on a motorcycle exploded near a military base where American troops have been assisting with the fight against al-Qaeda. 2 Filipinos were also killed today, one of them the driver of that motorcycle. And news about corporate scandals tonight. The former chief financial officer of the energy giant Enron was arrested today and charged with fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy. Andy Fastow is accused of engineering the partnerships that helped cover up the company's massive debt and help line the pockets of its executives. NBC's Lisa Myers.
The alleged mastermind of the Enron scandal, Andy Fastow, surrendered before dawn, charged with engineering deals to hide $1 billion in debt and stealing millions to enrich himself. The Deputy Attorney General said it adds up to swindling investors.
Fastow and his co-conspirators systematically and thoroughly corrupted the business of one of the largest corporations in the world.
The multiple charges of fraud and conspiracy detail sham transactions to manufacture profits, secret side deals, false backdating of deals to manipulate profits or losses, referred to within the company as the Enron time machine. Prosecutors say that in addition to deceiving investors, Fastow used these deals to steal millions from the company for himself and friends. Others who benefited allegedly were required to share their profits with Fastow through a gifting program.
He demanded and received kickbacks, including payments to himself, his wife, and his children, disguised as yearly non-taxable gifts.
Today, Fastow's attorney said various deals were approved by lawyers and accountants and directed by Enron CEO.
At no time did he do anything that he believed was a crime.
The question now, who's next? Today's only clue, a reference to false representations to the board by Fastow and an unnamed Enron CEO. The lawyer for former CEO Ken Lay says he's not worried.
I'm not troubled. I don't think that there will be criminal charges against Mr. Lay. There's no evidence upon which to found him.
Former CEO Jeff Skilling also has said he's done nothing wrong. Tonight, prosecutors say the Enron investigation continues with hundreds of interviews still to go. Government sources say as of now, a criminal case against Jeff Skilling looks increasingly possible, but one against Ken Lay is more difficult. Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
And in the Martha Stewart insider trading case, a former trading assistant at Merrill Lynch, Douglas Faneuil, pleaded guilty today to misdemeanor charges of lying to investigators in exchange for a payoff arranged by his supervisor, who was Martha Stewart's broker. Faneuil agreed to testify against Stewart and anyone else who might be charged in connection with the sale of Stewart's Imclone stock just before the price plunged on news that a key cancer drug had been rejected by the FDA. On Wall Street today, investors took back more than half of yesterday's dramatic gains. As a result, the Dow finished down more than 183 points. NASDAQ was off more than 26 points on the day. Up next, NBC News in depth tonight, listening to America. What is worrying the citizens of a small town in the heartland?
So for a lot of us, it will be working beyond what most people would consider a retirement age. And that is a big concern to our community.
Amid autumn rituals, deep concerns about the economy and war. Listening to America tonight. And later, it looks like the perfect picture of nature unspoiled, but beneath the surface, something is killing the salmon.
Doesn't that song just kill you?
Yeah. Okay. You want to change the last two scenes?
With a Sony Vaio RZ powered by an Intel Pentium 4 processor, it's easy to make your own DVDs. The Vaio RZ with the Intel Pentium 4 processor.
Just close my eyes and I'm with you. And all that I so wanna give you, babe, it's only a heartbeat away.
Get to the October Power Drive at your local GMC dealer for an extra $500 bonus cash on professional-grade trucks and SUVs. Every new Yukon, Envoy, and newly redesigned Sierra. The power of GMC can be yours with the power of these great offers. Get 0% APR or $1,500 cash back on every new GMC, plus an extra $500 October bonus cash. See dealer for details. Upgrade to professional grade during Power Drive. See the pros at your local GMC dealer before it all ends October 31st.
Marie Callender began every recipe the same way, with care. And her country fried chicken was no exception. Marie served it up with mashed potatoes slowly whipped with real cream. And corn? Well, Marie thought it best eaten right off the cob. Marie Callender put her heart into everything she made. And to this day, we're still making it Marie's way. Marie Callender's country fried chicken dinner in your grocer's freezer. Made with the care of Marie.
NBC News in depth tonight, listening to America. NBC Nightly News visited a small town in Illinois just before the Gulf War in 1991, and tonight we go back to that same place to see what people have on their minds now, more than a possible new war. In depth, NBC's Kelly O'Donnell tonight.
The annual parade down Liberty Street in Morris, Illinois. A corner of the heartland 12,000 call home. Morris is a place we visited once before, back on a wintry day, 1991, just before that other battle with Saddam Hussein, the Persian Gulf War.
I want to see them fight. If they're going to go, let's do it and get it over with.
11 years later, barber Gary Bedson is still giving $12 haircuts, but has trimmed his own rush to war.
Oh, I have a lot of hesitation right now than I did back in '91.
A Navy veteran, Gary served 2 tours in Vietnam.
Maybe I'm a little wiser, I don't know, or else maybe I'm just not so gung-ho. I just think that maybe we ought to sit back and just kind of reflect a little bit.
Allegiance to the flag. The Gulf War is barely a memory for 17-year-old high school senior Janet Bemnister, torn over how far the U.S. should go this time.
We need to be able to prevent something before it happens. But on the other hand, if we go in and attack, what if we're attacking for no reason?
Patriotism runs deep here. Morris proud of its men and women who served in wars past. Yet today, many say the top priority is not removing Saddam Hussein, but reviving the economy here at home.
So for a lot of us, it will be working beyond what most people would consider a retirement age. And that is a big concern to our community.
Concern reflected in a recent national poll showing jobs and the economy more important to voters than the threat of war. Still, Ellen and John Hansen, both attorneys, say they fully support a strike against Saddam, but worry as parents of 3 with 1 son in the Army.
He's in a position where he could be put in harm's way. And I think as a parent, that makes you think differently.
And so does the town's proximity to 3 nuclear power plants. Some consider them potential targets for terrorists and fear retaliation if the U.S. fights Saddam, making many in Morris feel both the dangers of conflict with Iraq and a strained economy much closer to home. Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, Morris, Illinois.
Up next, Lifeline, new hope for millions of victims of a deadly disease spread by mosquitoes.
Working on the rollbacks, prices going down, down. Working on the rollbacks, whoop, another goes down. Working on the rollbacks, prices going down, down. Working on the rollbacks, whoop, another goes down.
Walmart rollbacks. Working hard to save you even more.
Working.
Always.
Working.
Introducing Crest Rejuvenating Effects. Helps keep your smile looking and feeling younger longer. It strengthens enamel, whitens teeth, and refreshes your gums with a tingly sensation. Crest Rejuvenating Effects. I'll take it.
I'm very proud of my lawn. In the fall, I use Scott's Winterizer. The food enters the root system, stores it over the winter. Then in the spring, perks that grass right up. Scott's Winterizer gives me the last green lawn in the fall and the first green lawn in the spring.
When an accident, fire, or burglary turns your world upside down, there's Farmers Help Point Service. Someone who can think straight when you can't. Someone who cares and who really takes care. Because with Farmers Insurance, the moment you need it most, you can call Help Point. Farmers Help Point gets you back where you belong.
Do you know about the purple pill called Nexium?
I know.
I know. You should know about it too. Talk to your doctor about whether Nexium is right for you.
Find out about the purple pill called Nexium.
Carrier's Weathermaker Infinity is the world's most totally efficient gas furnace. With our exclusive Comfort Heat technology, it can save you up to 40% on your home heating costs. Carrier, 100 years of innovation.
Next time you're on the road and you need to fill your tank, here's something to consider. New Shell gasoline is specially formulated to help prevent deposit buildup in your engine, which helps keep it clean. And a clean engine performs better. which is why, when they're looking for more from their gasoline, so many drivers choose Shell.
As Hurricane Lily bears down on the Gulf Coast, the NBC News team will be there. Watch today, Nightly News and MSNBC. Hurricane Lily, the complete story.
Another big development in the New Jersey Senate race tonight. It was thrown into chaos Monday when incumbent Democrat Robert Torricelli unexpectedly dropped out because of continuing questions about his ethics. The state Supreme Court today cleared the way for retired Senator Frank Lautenberg to replace Torricelli on the ballot as a Democrat. Republicans had argued Torricelli dropped out too late to be replaced, but the court said replacing him is in the public interest because it preserves the two-party system. Tonight, Republicans said they will appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court tomorrow. On Lifeline tonight, as we saw from this summer's West Nile virus, the garden variety mosquito can be more than just annoying, it can be deadly. Now, there are rare new cases of malaria in this country. But there's also a new scientific breakthrough that could mean new weapons in the worldwide war on malaria and the mosquitoes that spread it. Here's NBC's chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell.
Malaria near Washington, D.C.? Health officials today discovered infected mosquitoes in a second Virginia county. The testing started when Jonathan Barden got a 106-degree fever.
The frantic part about it was the nurses and doctors running around trying to figure out what was wrong with me.
Jonathan had malaria, and so did a 19-year-old woman living in the same area. Virginia officials do not yet know the extent of the outbreak or how it started. But this is the first time in more than 20 years that malaria has established itself in mosquito populations within the United States. Experts warn there could be an outbreak any time.
It's something we need to be aware of. Just because we don't have it now in the United States doesn't mean it couldn't come back.
And in poor tropical countries throughout the world, malaria is a constant danger, one of the world's worst health threats.
Malaria is the most widely disseminated infectious disease. More people have malaria in the course of a year than the entire population of the United States, about 300 million people. It kills between 1 and 2 million kids.
That's why many experts are thrilled with the achievements announced today of a team of 160 scientists from 10 countries. The researchers have unraveled the entire genetic code of both the single-celled parasite that causes the malaria infection and the type of mosquito that transmits it with its bite.
This is going to allow us to identify new targets for drugs. We also can identify molecules that might serve as vaccine targets.
The genetic information is already showing how the parasite grows resistant to medications and how the mosquito avoids pesticides. Information that could prove critical to combating a worldwide threat that could be reappearing here. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
Next, the emotional water war in the West and an update on Hurricane Lily, which is picking up power and heading for the Gulf Coast.
Hey, hand me that there, wrench? Yeah.
Oh!
What do you think? I got that insurance or something?
What?
It puts money in your wallet in case you're like flat on your back.
What? Never heard of it.
Well, you can get it at work.
Get what?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
We do several hundred septic system repairs a year. If your septic system fails, you're going to run into several problems. It will either back up into the yard, into the house. I would recommend you use Rid-X once a month. It is cheaper to maintain your septic system, a lot cheaper.
Ooh, banana.
What you doing there?
Just admiring your banana bread, ma'am.
We took the taste of fresh-baked banana bread for Quaker Oatmeal Deluxe Collection. So good, you'll wonder where we got the recipe.
In the 90 years LL Bean has sold outdoor clothing and gear, competitors have come and gone. Many have tried, but none have matched our dedication to quality and service. As others fold or merge, LL Bean remains family-owned and true to doing things right. Today, our commitment to quality products, service, and our guarantee assures you'll always be 100% satisfied. You have our word on it. Call today for our free catalog.
Starting to feel a little cramped by your present surroundings? RE/MAX can help you find a new home while selling your current one to someone who'll find it absolutely perfect. If you're looking for outstanding results, look for Remax.
Research shows cold sufferers who take NyQuil are awakened less frequently. Mommy! By their symptoms. NyQuil, best sleep you ever got with a cold. Medicine.
Get to the October Power Drive at your local GMC dealer for an extra $500 bonus cash on professional-grade trucks and SUVs. Every new Yukon, Envoy, and newly redesigned Sierra. The power of GMC can be yours with the power of these great offers. Get 0% APR or $1,500 cash back on every new GMC, plus an extra $500 October bonus cash. See dealer for details. Upgrade to professional grade during Power Drive. See the pros at your local GMC dealer before it all ends October 31st.
Tonight at 6 on Channel 4.
A 24-year-old high school imposter sneaks a loaded gun onto a school bus full of children.
Also after Nightly News.
Former police officers collecting disability while owning their own businesses.
And fixing farsightedness, a new alternative to corrective laser surgery.
Tonight at 6 on Channel 4 News.
It's a long way from Northern California to Washington, D.C., but today some fish made the journey. Dead fish. Some of the thousands of dead salmon floating in the Klamath River, an environmental disaster that Native Americans and fishermen are blaming on the Bush administration. Here's NBC's George Lewis.
Disaster on the Klamath River. Dead salmon everywhere. These aerials taken by an environmental group show the extent of the die-off. Mile after mile of riverbank littered with dead fish.
The stench here is overpowering all along the lower part of the Klamath River. Experts say the number of dead fish could be in the tens of thousands.
This section of river runs through the Yurok Indian Reservation, whose members depend on the salmon run for their livelihood, as do commercial fishermen in California and Oregon. A biologist working for the Yuroks says he's never seen anything like this.
This is tragic, very tragic, and this is going to have effects on the tribal members for years to come.
He says there's not enough water for the salmon to swim upstream to their spawning grounds, so the fish die before they can reproduce, meaning that future generations of salmon will be decimated. Who's responsible? The Native Americans, commercial fishermen, and environmentalists blame the Bush administration for killing the fish, claiming the Bureau of Reclamation is diverting too much water out of the Klamath to irrigate farms and ranches upriver.
We warned them that there would be fish kills, and here you have it, our worst nightmare.
Today, they literally made a big stink in Washington at the Interior Department's doorstep, protesting the administration's plan for Klamath water use.
This is not a plan that protects the resource. This is a plan that gives us a dead river and dead fish.
The farmers and ranchers say it's wrong to link them and the administration to the dead fish, but the real culprit may be some natural cause.
To come out and assign blame right now is really irresponsible.
The Bureau of Reclamation began letting more water flow into the river on Friday.
Over time, it's going to take everybody working together, and it's going to take good science to be able to really make the right decisions to balance everything.
The Bureau hopes to save thousands of salmon waiting to spawn, but the protesters claim the government's balancing act comes too late. George Lewis, NBC News, on the Klamath River.
And one final look tonight at the path of Hurricane Lily, now a powerful Category 4 storm that could hit Louisiana and Texas within 24 hours. Hundreds of thousands are moving inland tonight to avoid potential disaster. NBC News will have full coverage beginning tomorrow morning on Today. You can track the storm's progress hour by hour on MSNBC on cable and by logging on to our website, msnbc.com. That's Nightly News for this Wednesday. I'm Tom Brokaw. I'll see you tomorrow night.
This is Channel 4 News. Coverage you can count on.
An I-team investigation uncovers former cops running their own businesses while collecting disability. Tennessee's two-time Daytona 500 winner won't race again this year. A man boards a Metro school bus with a loaded gun. Now he is in federal custody. But first, the most powerful hurricane since Andrew takes aim at the Gulf Coast. We're almost certain to feel Lily's wrath by Friday. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Channel 4 News at 6.
Well, don't let the pretty name fool you. Hurricane Lily is now a very powerful storm, packing winds as high as 155 miles an hour. This is just some of the damage Lily has already done. She is gaining strength and by Friday is set to hit Middle Tennessee. Let's check in now with Bill Hall to find out what Lily may hold.